What's good, y'all? L Famous, living my life, not thinking about it twice. Don't be scared to like, subscribe, or share this dope content if you like it. Let's get it. Yeah, let's get it. Now, this joint right here is called Comrades. Yeah, Comrades. And I already told y'all about my son, John Woo. You heard from Brooklyn. So I ain't got to tell y'all no more about that. Now, the first people I'm going with on the Comrade list is When I Turned Down Moo, you heard? And when I turned down Moo, I turned down Moo and Nap. I told my story, you heard? I told my story on who brought me home, and everything is official, you heard? Now, right here is a legendary flick right here. This is a legendary flick, you heard? This was supposed to be an all Bronx flick, but it turned out to be a gangster flick. Yeah, a gangster flick, and I'm gonna tell you why. There's only one reason why it turned out to be a gangster flick. This was a Bronx flick, but it turned out to be a gangster flick. You heard? And I'm gonna tell you why. Now look, right here, I think I was clicking that day. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Everybody know about click. You gotta buy your ticket. You heard? You gotta fill out a disbursement form. I forgot how it go in Nap. You heard how you do click. I just know they do a lot of click. You heard? And just so happened that Don Q was one of the dudes that do the click. Yeah, the famous Don Q that OG Mac told on, lied on, and all that. You heard? Yeah, Don Q, he was the picture dude. You heard him? He was one of them. I think Whip Watt was one of them. You heard? It was like two or three dudes. You heard? And they rotate and they do the click. And click and the click in jails be different. You know, different jails is different. You know, some places the click is hard to get a picture with in a click. You know what I'm saying? And then some jails it's easy to get a click. And Nap was one of them easy jails to get a click. So went out there. I was clicking up that day. You heard? I just finished pumping up. I was just doing the bar and dips. You heard? Pumping up for that flick. Y'all see how I am. That's me in the back right there with the red tank top on. I was a beast. I was 21 years old. I was 21 years old. That's me in the back with the tank top. I was 21, y'all. So you see how these young niggas out here, man, skinny, 21 years old and all that? Nigga, that was me at 21 in the mountains. You heard? That's me, 21 in the mountains. And then right kneeling down in front of me with the red sweater on, that's Frasier. That's legendary Frasier from the Bronx, Webster Projects, C-74, Adolescents at War, 1990. You heard? He got locked up. You heard? And he was one of the, not the only, he was one of the Bronx niggas holding it down. You heard? He told, you heard, y'all niggas heard that nigga John Ryder famous story up there when he said about Shot Wells knocked him out. Knocked him down in the hallway, you heard, and then he got up and chased the whole house. Yeah, that's Frasier, the legendary Frasier right there. Kneeling down with the red on, you heard? His story is crazy, you heard? His story is crazy. I supposed to been gave y'all his story, but he got me holed up waiting for it, you heard? So, and he got y'all waiting for it. I've been wanting it, you heard? I've been wanting to give it to y'all, but, you know, it got to be right, you know? I was supposed to link up with him last month to do it, but the day I couldn't link up with him. You heard? I don't know if we was gonna do it that day, but we was gonna start it that day. You know what I'm saying, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully I'm still gonna do Frasier's story. Frasier's that nigga. He got the crazy ill story with the Bronx first Brooklyn niggas. You heard? I told a little story about it on my channel like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. But it ain't nothing like hearing it from the horse's mouth. You heard? Ain't nothing like hearing it from the gangster mouth. So, you heard, I can't wait for me to get this Frasier story, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And then in the middle, you got Raw. Yeah, everybody know Raw. Raw was on the island playing razor tag. He got mad cuts on his face and all that. Raw was my nigga when I first got the nap. You heard? I met Raw, you know what I'm saying? He from Cyprus and all that. He was, you know, I thought he was official. You heard? He was official. He just had a lot of beef, had a lot of enemies. Not in the jail, but during the course of his bid. You heard? He was one of them niggas that when you mention his name, niggas either gonna say something bad about him or they gonna say ain't gonna say something about him. You heard? Like niggas be like, that's my man, or niggas gonna be like, niggas gonna say some foul shit. You heard? My man blew him, or this nigga blew him, or I blew him. Like nigga Raw had mad beef, but Raw was ready to go in. You heard? At any time he had beef, it was up. It was up. But Raw wound up doing that bid, wound up going home, wound up meeting somebody that I was up north with family, and wound up doing some sucker shit, and he back up north with forever for some sucker shit. So that's why I said I really can't talk about that nigga no more. That nigga whack. You heard? You know what I'm saying? That nigga whack for that shit. Nigga mad whack. You heard? And that right here, kneeling down with no shirt, that's Duke Mafia. You heard? That's Duke Mafia. You know what I'm saying? And my man Duke, that's who brought me home to Bloods. You heard? That's my man Duke. I was with him in 94 on the Allen, 6 upper. He was going by Mafia. I was going by BX. You heard? No, I was going by Bronx. You heard? And my man CH. And then you had Queens. We had little Mick Mac from Queensbridge. And we had Big City was there when I first got there. You heard? Him and Big City was running together when I first got to 6 upper, and Big City went home like 4 days later. Big City had like 4 days to go home. Went home, left the house of Duke and us. Nigga, we took over that shit, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Bitch, Miss Wilcox, the CO chick, she hated our guts. You know what I'm saying? She hated our guts. We kept the pressure on Tone and them Lion King niggas on the other side, because Tone and them niggas had Lion King and the Yetta movement over there chunking. Them niggas was doing everything. Them niggas was smoking good, eating good, living good and all that. They was having, they had all the black niggas over there as herbs and all that. You heard? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Blatantly herbs, you know what I'm saying? And so every time it was up with them niggas, we got a chance to get at them niggas, we was getting at them niggas. We had a fight with them niggas between the Seagate. We had a fight with them niggas where niggas ran over to our day room one time, and we got it on with a few of them niggas, and we got it on with them niggas in the hallway one time, you heard? You know, soon as we was going out to the yard, we popped off on the line, you heard, out there in the hallway on 6 upper, you heard? Popped off one of them Latin King and Yetta niggas, you heard? Crazy, me and Duke, you heard? And we wasn't even blood. This is 1994, you heard? February, January, all that time, you heard? I was in 6 upper from January to May, you heard? And shit was fire, man. My man Duke, me and him got tight. Even we went to the box together. We went to one main together. Then Duke ain't come over to the H. He went home. I went to the HDM Bing. I went to 1B. You heard? Me, that's when I was down there with Los, Half. CH was over there with me before he went home. Or he went to Adele or something. You heard? And yeah, CH went to Adele. And then he went home. You heard? And yeah, B. That's my man Duke Mafia. Then I ran into him up north. He brought me home to the Bloods and all that and everything and all that. And his name was up with the Bloods, Mittens and all that, Predicate Cutter, all that. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Set Tripper. You heard? My man Duke is a crazy nigga. Nigga, rest in peace, Duke. You heard? You the nigga that brought me home, nigga. You heard? To that blood shit. You know what I'm saying? Then the reason why I said that this ain't a Bronx picture, you heard, what took it away from being a Bronx picture and made it a gangster picture was the last dude that's Mad Dog, you heard, you know what I'm saying, from Queens, and being that, and I will never forget it, and Mad Dog might see it. I remember Phrase after the flick. Phrase looked at the flick and Phrase said, he the only one that fucked it up. And I asked Phrase why. He said, cuz, man, that was a Bronx flick and he from Queens. I started laughing and shit, you heard? But the homie was official. That's why he jumped in the flick, you heard? He jumped in the flick, you heard? He jumped in the flick. Mad Dog. Gangster, you heard? Official blood nigga from Queens, nigga, repping that Queens hard, nigga. I was peeping Mad Dog style. Mad Dog was a straight gangster, nigga, and he was repping Queens, B. He was repping Queens, B. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So, nigga, and he's out here. I seen him on that nigga Pimp channel, you heard? I seen him on Pimp channel, you heard? I checked it out. You know what I'm saying? You heard? I checked it out. Mad Dog, you heard? Yeah, Mad Dog. You know what I'm saying? Fisher. I don't know what happened years later, but Mad Dog is official when I met him. You know what I'm saying? Now the next comrade I'm gonna go with is a street comrade. You know what I'm saying? My man Dog Man. Yeah, Dog Man, B. The nigga in the red with the chains on. And then the nigga next to him was my comrade too. That's Black. That's nigga. Y'all hearing my stories when I be saying took me downtown, took me to out to Queens with James, introduced me to James Berry, Billy and them niggas and all that. Introduced me to Al and TM and them niggas from Douglas and all that. Took me down to Douglas. That's my man Black right there, my comrade, and that's my man M, my other comrade. And both of them older than me. You heard? Both of them older than me. And I remember M came to see me in Nap. And he came to see me, and they had me in the box. They had me in the cube box, on a visit, in the joint with the windows and all that, and they had me on a visiting room. They had me on a visiting side with nobody on it. You heard? Matter of fact, the only nigga that got a visit that day in the box was me and Blaze, Latin King Blaze. You heard? Rest in peace to Blaze. You heard? He was a big he was a king. He was a king. You heard? And he was a head king. You heard? He was a head king. He was like a head king, like King Tone and them niggas. King Blaze, you heard? And me and him was on a visit together, and we was both in the box together in Nap. You know what I'm saying? That's why I told you I was in with King Blaze in the box with Nap. I did 13 months in that box, you heard, with King Blaze, you heard? King Blaze was down there with like 9 years in the box, nigga, until he go to the feds, nigga. Yeah, nigga. King Blaze was down there with like 9 years in the box until he go to the feds, nigga. He sent me a kite and all that, cause we went on a visit together and all that. And he seen I was official nigga, you know what I'm saying? I ain't try to pop off on him and none of that, you heard? Cause I wasn't in the Bloods for none of that, you heard? You know what I'm saying? I was in the Bloods for oppression, you know what I'm saying? If I seen you oppressing the people, or I seen you fucking with somebody that I fucked with, it was on, nigga. It was on, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So the nigga, so that's my man Black. Emit came to see me, and he wasn't blood or nothing. He was like, yo lad, why they got you in this box on a visit by yourself? And then when we came in to see you, they was like, y'all gotta stamp off to the side because the inmate y'all coming to see is in a box. So y'all gotta go to a whole nother visiting room. So he was asking me why it's like that. So I told him what happened. I was like, yeah, I went gun to gun with a nigga and this and that, but I got like 18 months in the box and all that. So he's like, oh, word, you blood? I said, yeah, I'm blood, nigga. He said, oh, all right. He's like, yo, the nigga Frasier from the hood came through with like 100 bloods on the block one day. You heard? I was bugging, you heard? Oh, shit, that Frasier is. You heard? I was like, yeah. You heard? Frasier came through like that. It's like, yeah, Frasier official. I know Frasier. I seen Frasier shoot a nigga, you heard? Back in the day. So I'm like, yeah, Frasier official. So I'm like, he came through the block with like 100 bloods. He's like, yeah, he came through the block like 100 bloods. I said, Frasier home? He said, Frasier home, because Frasier did like 15 years. He's like, Frasier home? He's like, yeah, Frasier home. You heard? No, she did like 10 years. Like, Frasier home? He's like, yeah, Frasier home. Nigga came through the block with like 100 bloods, nigga. Gangster niggas, you heard? And Frasier's official, you heard? He older than me and all that, you heard? Got me by like 10. I seen Frasier and my uncle was best friends. I seen Frasier and my uncle clap a nigga and tell me to don't go in the park. And I still went in the park. And the nigga was clapped on the floor. You heard? Yeah, man. You heard? The nigga was clapped on the floor. You heard? So Frasier was official. You know what I'm saying? He used to run with my uncle anyway. You heard? My Uncle Cozy, 167, Clay, you heard? Shout out to Cozy, rest in peace to him, you heard? Shout out his kids, man. You know what I'm saying? My cousins, you heard? But yeah, man, my father brother, that's my father brother, you know what I'm saying? My Uncle Cozy, nigga. You know what I'm saying? He had owned that little lounge on 6-7 under the 4 train. I forgot that joint name. That's from my hood, you heard? But the nigga with the red on, that's the nigga I brought home, Emit. I brought him home to Bloods. That's the only nigga I ever brought home to Bloods. And I brought that nigga home in the street. I brought him home after that visit, because he was intrigued. But he didn't. I'm gonna keep it official with my man M. He didn't ask me right there in my face. He went home and then he wrote me a letter and then came back to see me. And then I made it official. I brought him home. And then he turned out my hood. under me though. You heard? Yeah, man. But you know, I ain't know nothing about it though. I knew he turned out the hood, but when I came home, them niggas changed it up and they made their own set. They changed the name and they made it bigger than when me just bringing him home. They made it so big than me just bringing him home. And I ain't gonna say this name of the set, you heard? But it was set as official. It was official for a minute in the street, and then it started getting faded when niggas started going to jail because niggas had that shit sanctioned. Now, if they was getting at me like that, and they would have let me know what they started and all that shit would have been official. I'm just keeping it 100. I'm just keeping it 100 because I was rolling with the niggas that could have made the shit official. I could have let niggas know. Niggas was Emit was sending me pictures with Peter guns and all the niggas mad blooded out and all that. And niggas had like 200 bloods on the block. Niggas had the police van on the block. Not the police van, the police truck. You know when they set up the truck and all that for a year and all that on the block? Yeah, well they had that on my block behind the Bloods. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that I started. You heard? So that I brought my man home older than me and he turned them niggas out. You heard? Turned them niggas out. You know what I'm saying? But it all worked out. None of them niggas is good. They all good. Niggas changed their life around. Niggas is working and niggas ain't even on that gang shit no more. You heard? Niggas ain't on none of that gang shit no more. Actually, my man here got deported. You heard? And he in Panama living his best life. He a YouTube star. He's a TikTok star. He's a sensation over there in Panama. You heard? Right now, my man Coco. You heard? You heard? He do Coco. His name is Coco something. But he do videos and all that. You heard? Impersonation. He remind me of Benny Hill. You heard? I remember we used to come up. They used to have a show that come on like 3 o'clock in the morning called Benny Hill. Like a nigga that was mad nasty. You heard? He used to be chasing girls around the whole time naked. You heard? Like girls used to have no bra on, but they be running around the whole screen naked. All video, Benny Hill. Niggas remember that. If you old school, you know remember that joint. You know what I'm saying? So my man Emit, he doing great out there in Panama right now, you heard? When I get my money up, I'm going to take a trip out there. Matter of fact, I ain't about my money. When I get my visa, you heard? My passport or whatever, you heard? Gotta get that passport, you know what I'm saying? Gotta get that passport. Gotta make that a priority this year. The next nigga, comrade status, is my man from Brooklyn, my man Fangs, B. I met my man Fangs in Wendy. You heard? He died. I heard he died of ecstasy pill. You heard? You heard? I heard my man Fang went to the street and he died, B. But my man Fang was a beast. You heard? My man Fang was a beast. He was in jail for mad robberies. He was booking mad shit out there. I think he was from Bushwick. You heard? And me and him got mad cool because he was mad nice and bald. And every jail I went to, I played on a team. I played on whatever team. Like if they had a blood team, if they had a regular team. Like when I was in Nap, I played for Willow. I played for Ace. Like when I was in Clinton, I was blood, so I played on the blood team basketball in the tournament. And then Wendy, I played with Boxing Shy and them niggas in the tournament in Wendy. And my man Fangs right here. And my man Fangs was different. I'm actually letting y'all know about a person that was talented enough to be in the NBA. This dude was so nice in basketball. The nigga ups was crazy. And he wasn't tall. You heard? This nigga was dunking all over the place. He'll dunk on you in a minute. You heard? My man Fangs, B. You heard? You know what I'm saying? And me and him became mad tight because one day he was gonna get into a fight with a dude from that I know from the street. And I had stopped him. You heard? I had to stop him. Like, yo, chill, bro. You know that? He's like, yo, you lucky you L man from the street. I'll fucked you up, B. You heard? And I went to my man that I knew from the street and I had to tell him to cool out because I said, yo, me, I can't be, I'm saving you all the time, man. You heard? What if I wasn't around, B? Nigga, Fangs would have knocked you out or something, B. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had to keep it real with my nigga from the street because he was out of line, you heard? You know how niggas be playing basketball and niggas be getting disrespectful? Yeah, that's what he did. He was playing basketball and he got disrespectful with Fangs. You heard? You know what I'm saying? Fangs could have knocked him out. You know what I'm saying? But on the strength of me, and that was my man from the street, he didn't. You heard? And he told the nigga that. You heard? And my man took like he felt some type of way with me after that, because that's the same nigga that I asked the nigga later on did he have some peanut butter, and the nigga told me he ain't had no peanut butter, and I went down to the next day. I went down and was looking in front of his cell. I was talking to him on his gate, and he just so happened to have his locker open, and I seen he had a brand new peanut butter there. And I said, yo, that's peanut butter you got right there? And he got up and he said, yeah. And I said, he opened it up. He took the top off, and and you could tell he only took like one scoop out of it. I said, yo, B, I asked you for peanut butter last night. He's like, oh, nah, I thought you asked for jelly. I said, nigga, I asked for peanut butter. Nigga, you heard me ask for peanut butter. I said, yo, you a petty ass nigga. Don't say nothing to me no more. You heard? I got up off that nigga gate, and I got up off that. I ain't say nothing to that nigga for like 4 or 5 months. You heard? While that nigga was there. You heard? And then I started saying something to the nigga because I felt sorry for him. You heard? But yeah. But I cut the nigga off for like 4 months, the nigga from around the way, because look, he did that sucker shit. I called now. I said, yo, you got peanut butter? Nigga was like, nah, I had jelly. I needed some peanut butter. I said, yo, you got peanut butter? Nigga like, nah, I ain't got no peanut butter, L. The next day, I'm happen to be talking to the nigga on his gate. He got his locker wide open. He got the peanut butter right there. This how funny niggas be in jail. He got the peanut butter right there. I'm talking to him about something else. I ain't thinking about that peanut butter. I'm talking about something else. He just so happened to have the locker open. I see the peanut butter. I'm like, yo, didn't I ask you for peanut butter last night? He like, oh, I thought you asked for jelly. I said, nigga, I asked for peanut butter, motherfucker. I said, yo, B, don't say nothing to me no more. Don't say shit to me no more, B. Word of mother, B. You a foul nigga, you heard? So, and that's the same nigga my man Fangs was going to knock out because he said some foul shit on the basketball court. And Fangs from Brooklyn. And this is what he signed the picture with, you heard? You know what I'm saying? He signed the picture. He sent me a picture with him and his shorty at the time. This is a picture off a visit. She came to see him. You heard? He said, to that real Bronx bomber, L Boogie, it's been popping since you entered it through the gates. Keep your head up, Don. The real Brooklyn bandit, Fangs. You heard? 26 something. You heard? Z's or something. You heard? My guy from Brooklyn. You heard? And you heard what he said. It's been popping since you entered the gate. So since he met me, because he was in Wendy when I got there. So since I came in the gate, it was popping. Yeah. My man Fangs, you heard? Gave it up for me. Gave me, that's my friend. And I'm glad I got this flick because I heard he went home and he died. I heard he died in his sleep because he was fucking with them ecstasies, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, B, my man Fangs, B, rest in peace to him, B. You know what I'm saying? That was a nigga I would have wanted to get up with in the street, you heard? My man Fangs, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Now, the next comrade is a little off. This is my dog, my old dog, Bishop, that I had, my pit bull. You heard? It was a fighting dog. I used to fight this dog, you know what I'm saying? And it was a champion, B. I used to take this dog to Harlem, all over the Bronx, and anybody that wanted to fight my dog, I fight it. And my dog whipped that shit ass and all I had to the point where wherever I walked at, people started to know my dog. I used to be walking in Harlem with my dog. And I remember one time I seen the twins, Lonzo and Fonzo, they used to have dogs. They had Boo Knock and Gator June. And they used to have fighting dogs, and they used to have money dogs. They dogs cost money, $5,000, $10,000, you heard? And they fight for money, you heard? I wasn't fighting for money. I was just fighting, street fighting. But my dog was on a level to fight for money, but I didn't even know it, you heard? So, boy, I'm running around the hood fighting my dog for nothing. Now, boom. I'm walking one day past them niggas, and them niggas like, yo, that dog look good. I'm like, yeah, it's good. They said, and back then, when the people see you with a dog, the first thing they say is, they might compliment you on your dog, and then they might say is, what's the dog name? Everybody knew dogs by their name back then. I don't know if it's still like that, but I know back then, dogs was known by their name. You heard? And I'm talking about they really was known by their name. So they was like, yo, what's his name? I was like, Bishop. They was like, Bishop? You from the Bronx? I said, yeah. They said, yeah, we heard of that. We heard of it. You heard? I was like, oh, and I was mad. I was mad and happy inside, like on some, oh, these niggas know about my dog, because I knew these niggas was more official than me with the dog. You heard? They fight their dogs for money. You heard? And I knew all about their dog. They had Gator June and they had a dog called Boot Knocker. You heard? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, yeah, they know about Bishop. I'm like, all right. Everywhere I went in Harlem, I went through St. Nick. They had a dog in St. Nick called Matt. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, Bishop. It always started the same way. I'd be walking with my dog. Dudes would be like, it'd be a crew of dudes standing there with their dog, and dudes would be like, yo, that shit get busy? I'm like, yeah, my shit get busy. They'd be like, word? You want to let it go for a little while, for a second? It's like, yeah, let's go. Look, where we go? Let's let it go. So one day I was walking through St. Nick, and some niggas from St. Nick was out there, St. Nick Projects in Harlem, and they had a dog called Mac. You heard? If niggas know about Mac from St. Nick, niggas know. And they said, yo, you want to shoot this 5 minutes with the dogs? I said, yeah, let's go. We walked to Convent Park, the same park where they filmed Juice at, with Raheem and them niggas with the gun and all that, when he gave this nigga the gun and all that, and Bishop the gun in the park. That same park. We went in that same park, let our dogs go. My dog used to always do the same thing every fight. He used to let a dog bite him first. Once a dog bite him, that nigga go crazy. After that, the dog don't get no more. The dog is not winning that fight. My dog, I start talking to him, hit the legs. That nigga start hitting the legs, all that, B. I'm telling you, B. Crazy, nigga. You heard? And I had my nigga all the way to my grandmother had my dog all the way into I had 5 years in. My dog died when I was 5 years in jail. 2 years before I came home, my dog died. You heard? My grandmother almost held him for me until I came home. Almost, B. Bishop. You heard? Me and my best friend dog, Parks. That was my dog, though. I took care of him. Because Parks had his own dogs. You know what I'm saying? But this was both our dogs at the beginning. And I made this nigga a killer. Because I used to run this nigga on a bike all day. I used to run this nigga from the Bronx to downtown every day just to get my, I used to run this nigga to get my smoke on Bathgate, Washington, everywhere, B. I kept this nigga on a bike. I was on a bike running with this nigga. Everybody knew I used to run with this nigga. I used to run with this nigga from borough to borough. You heard? That nigga could fight for hours if he wanted to. You heard? That's how much wind this nigga had. But he ain't never even fought. His fights used to be like 5-7 minutes. He be breaking dogs' legs. Niggas be talking about break it up. My dog got a fight coming up. That's what happened with Mac. That's what happened one time I was walking through 142nd Street. They had a dog, you heard? And they was like, it was mad niggas and chicks out there, and they was talking mad shit. They was like, yo, money, our dog will kill that shit and all that. I was like, yo, let's see what we do. I used to do no talking. I used to never talk no shit because I knew my man was crazy. I know my man used to win every fight, you heard? Every fight, and my man was on the come up. I got him when he was 9 months, and I was fighting him since I got him, you heard? He was fighting shit older than him, shaking shit up, breaking legs, all that shit. You heard? When he was like 15 months and all that. Word to my mother, nigga. That's how I knew I had a dog, you heard? And they say you might get one good dog in your lifetime. Out of all the animals you might have, you might only get one good dog in your lifetime. And this was him, Bishop. I had a lot of dogs. I got a dog now, but I ain't never had a dog. I ain't gonna never get a dog like Bishop. You heard? You get one good dog in life. You get one good dog in a lifetime. And any animal lover, any animal people, they'll tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Now the next joint is my guy. This is a 3 picture. This is my guy, Nice from Queensbridge. You heard? On with the white shirt on. You heard? That's my guy. As soon as I met him, that's the homie, blood. As soon as I met him, he gave niggas scalpels, you heard? He gave all the homies scalpels as soon as he came up top. You know what I'm saying? This how I see when homies that show love, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Homies that really show love, you know what I'm saying? That niggas get the bag, niggas get weapons, niggas get you weapon, niggas give you a weapon, not sell you a weapon, not make give you a weapon for your protection. You heard? My man gave me a scalpel. He gave all the homies a scalpel when he got there. His baby, whoever came up and see him, they brought all the homie scalpels, man. Niggas was up, nigga. You heard? And we wound up using them shits on each other. We didn't even cut nobody that we had to cut. We niggas cut each other, nigga. I wound up getting it on with the nigga that brought me home. You heard? You know what I'm saying? My whole jacket, everything was cut up, down to my shirt, down to my t-shirt. You heard? It was cut up like Freddy Krueger was trying to kill me. You know what I'm saying? Shit was crazy, B. With them scalpels. That's how sharp them shits was, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And my man Nice always was official. And I was with him in Clinton. It's my comrade. And I when I came home, I went to his house in Queensbridge. I met his moms, I met his sister, I met all of his family, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And he living in the Bronx, not too far from me. I see him all the time. See him a couple of months ago. It's my comrade Nice. He out here still winning, doing him. Queensbridge legend, you heard? He grew up in the same building as Nas, you heard? He was telling me all the stories in jail about Nas. Killer Black, you heard? And all them niggas, Mobb Deep in them niggas, you heard? Big Nori and them niggas. All them niggas, B. He grew up Lakey the Kid and all them niggas. YG and them niggas, you heard? Yeah, B. You know what I'm saying? Mad official niggas from out of Queensbridge, you heard? You know what I'm saying? And we know the same niggas. OG Have, you heard? You know what I'm saying? From Queensbridge. Sha Kim. The OG, Sha Kim. You heard? Now this dude right here, that's my man Boss Baby. You know what I'm saying? My man Boss Baby. I looked him up the other day. He in Ulster County. He had to step in for a little short time just now. You heard? Remember he just threw the party. I just went to the party for him and all that. You know what I'm saying? Hold on for a second. Yeah, so that's my man Boss Baby. I just did his party. Go to the Boss Baby party, his going in party. He got to go in for a second. And this is me and him. This is us up north together. You heard? As you can see, me and Boss Baby got shines on, and we got the same kind of sneakers on. You heard? I'm from the Bronx, he from Harlem. Then my man Nice from Queens. You heard? My man Boss Baby is official. He wasn't blood. Me and Nice is blood. But at this time, my man Boss Baby wanted to be blood. He was thinking about being blood. And then one day he came to me. He's like, "Yo, Al, you know what I'm saying? I want you to bring me home the Bloods." I said, "Hell no! Don't get down with this shit. Don't get down with this shit." I said, "I'm even mad that I got down with this shit, and I was only blood for like 2 months. You heard? And and he was ready to get turned blood because of me. He was like, "Yo, B, you my nigga, man. I'm ready to turn." I said, "Hell no, boss." We wasn't calling him Boss Baby. We was calling him D at that time. His name was D in jail. He was like, "Nah, D. Hell no." And I saved his life. I feel like I saved his life because my man D had a weird bid. That nigga had a 16 and a half to 32 years. You heard? He had a body, he had a cell, and he had some other shit. He had 3 cases. You heard? My man D, Boss Baby. You heard? So I was like, hell no, D. Don't turn blood. Imagine if that nigga would have turned blood. That nigga would have never came home. You heard? That nigga did 20 years, B. He did 20 years. My man D did 20 years, B. 20 years straight. You heard? I was with him, and I left him. You heard? I only did 7 on that bid, and I went home. You heard? When I took this picture, I only been up north 2 years. A year and a half I've been up north. When me and D and Nice took this picture, I only did 7 years. My man D did 20. So imagine if he would have turned blood. If I was one of them thirsty niggas or one of them stupid niggas, and like just to bring my mans into something. You heard? Yo, yeah, B. You know how many niggas was bringing niggas home? You heard? I told my man D, hell no. Nah, D, you ain't coming home. I'm even mad that I got down with this shit, B. You heard? So it's my man Boss Baby. You heard? I looked him up the other day. He in Ulster County. I'm gonna wait till he get to his real jail, and then I'm gonna write him, and then I hope he close, so I go see him. You know what I'm saying? If he far, I go see him too. But if he far, I just gotta make a. I gotta set it up to go see him. If he close, I could go see him quick. You heard? Like, you know what I'm saying? I could go see him anytime. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let him get up north and get settled first. You heard? I want him to do that time, and I told him to think of bigger, better, because you know he was getting to that chicken out here. You heard? He was a party promoter. You know what I'm saying? And I hung out with him in Florida. I hung out with him in Atlanta. That's my guy. You heard? Yeah, I hung out with him in the street too. We did it up in Miami and in Atlanta. I did it up with my man Boss Baby in the street, and we met in jail. You heard? That's how official niggas fuck with me. So, you know, I'ma fuck with my guy to the end too. You heard? You know what I'm saying? As long as I'm out here, I'ma write him and shit. You know what I'm saying? I told him to just think about more business plans, because he a smart dude. He went to college. He did college in there. He was Mr. Nap in there. He did the weightlifting program in there. He did a lot of shit. My man Boss Baby was a smart dude, and he know how to write, and he know how to do music, and he know how to rap and all that shit. But he don't even rap no more. But he's know how to rap. You heard? Next nigga, my nigga Bags from Brooklyn, but he was getting money in Albany, New York. Yeah, my man Bags, official nigga. Mad strong nigga. You know, I know you can't really see him right under there, but under there, that nigga Mad Diesel. And he mad strong. You know what I'm saying? We used to work out in the same area up in Clinton. Man, we became cool like that. You see, he gave me a picture. You heard? Him and his girl. You know what I'm saying? And he said in the back, he said, stay true to you, team, because you the focus of you all. You heard? I can't really read the rest. He said, you kids, so keep your heart on who you be, and yeah, and things will always fall into place. Stay strong, fit, because the war is every day. We're still 60-40 in the game. See how my man Bags was talking to me? You see how my man Bags was talking to me? You heard? Because he knew I was a G, nigga. You heard? It's my man Bags from Brooklyn, but he was getting money in Albany. You heard? Yeah. Albany, New York. This is my other man right here. Inf, guard body dude. Remember I told you he was the security of guard bodies up there. He from Rochester. You know what I'm saying? Official nigga. Inf, guard body brother. And on the back, he said, to my fellow G homie, it's definitely a pleasure to know that we can be so different, but so much in the same, which only shows the uniqueness about life. How all things are one and the same without each other, like wood cease to fix it. I can't really read it because, you know, he write mad fly. You know what I'm saying? He write mad fly. You know, dudes in jail be writing fly. You heard? So I could read it, but I got some words I can't really make out. You know what I'm saying? But this is my bro, Inf. He was guard body. He was on the security joint. You heard? It's my guy. Rochester. Quiet. Militant. Putting in that work. Yeah, putting in that work. This my little man Smooth, B. This my little man Smooth. I met him in Wendy. Remember I told you I met the homie? He had two cuts on his face, and the Bloods just cut him, and he was blood. You heard? They cut him in Auburn. You know what I'm saying? And I met him in Wendy. Yeah, B, me and him got tight because he told me the story on how they cut him. He tried to put in some work on a nigga. Him and another homie tried to put in some work on a nigga, and the nigga was fighting back. The nigga, they didn't get a chance to get the nigga good. So instead of the homies putting another homies on the nigga, they cut the homie. And they ain't cut him once, they cut him twice. It's like the nigga went up to him and went like this. You heard? And if you seen this little nigga when I met him, he was mad skinny and little. You heard? So, and he had two cuts on his face. And I was like, damn, B, who cut you like that? He like, yeah, and he told me the story. So, you know, I put him down with the workout team. Me, my man Alf and them, and my man Big J. This nigga working out with us for 8 months, 6 months. This nigga was a beast. This nigga went from a skinny, puny nigga with cuts in his muscles to motherfucking muscles. This nigga was mad diesel for his size. You heard? He was running around the jail. Everybody was giving him compliments. Nigga head was mad big, you heard? Then niggas, they used to be like, nigga, you only like that because you work out with L and them niggas. And he used to be like, get the hell out of here. He ain't give a fuck, though. This nigga shit was right fucking with us for 6 months, nigga. We used to do 2 body parts a day, nigga. You heard? Nigga was crazy up north, you heard? Nigga was putting it in. And he's the same nigga that I told you he knocked out Cuba and broke Cuba's leg when them niggas burnt my cell, you heard? Yeah, when they burned my cell that time, this nigga caught Cuba doing feed up, knocked him out. Cuba fell on the floor, broke his leg, you heard? And then he jumped back in the cell and locked back in, you heard? Yeah, and got away with it and went to a medium. Man, went to a medium after that. I was sick because I went to the box. I went to Southport and this nigga went to a medium. But he did what he had to do. He popped off for me, you heard? He popped off for me for niggas burning my cell. Cuba ain't burned my cell. Cuba was just down with the niggas that burned my cell. Everybody had to go. Mad niggas left that day. Mad niggas. You know what I'm saying? Miguel signing the PC. Green Eye signing the PC. Cuba went to A Block. They burnt Cuba. They robbed Cuba, burned them out, and he signed in the PC. And then I caught the nigga in the mess hall, sent him to the outside hospital with one hit, split the nigga eyelid. The nigga went to the outside hospital and he was going to press charges on me. And the fucking jail told that nigga, you ain't pressing charges on nobody. You heard? They knew who he was. That nigga was a piece of shit. You heard? Word the mother. Spanish dude was a piece of shit. You know what I'm saying? He burnt my cell. I caught that nigga in the mess hall. I split that nigga out with a 1 punch and beat the shit out that nigga in the mess hall in front of the police. They sent that nigga to the outside hospital to get stitched up. That nigga was telling the police, yo, I want to press charges on him. They told that nigga, get the fuck out of here. You ain't pressing no charges, nigga. We know why he did that to you, nigga. You burnt his cell, nigga. You running around here burning property and all that shit, and starting beef with people and hiding in your cell. You heard? And that shit ain't gonna work. You heard? We wanted him to catch your ass. You heard? That's probably why they made us land in the same mess hall that day. You heard? They wanted me to catch him, and I caught him. Next joint is my man Al. This is Al from Douglas. Pretty Black, rest in peace, Pretty Black from Eden War. That's the blood. That's my homie. That's the first homie that told me, you know, if you go home, you're gonna get all the girls right now, right? I said, why you say that? He said, cause you look like DMX, B. And I just came from the street. DMX is that nigga out there right now. I was like, oh, word? You know what I'm saying? I liked the DMX at that time too, but I ain't know his presence on the street, you heard? And this nigga Pretty Black in the middle. This is Pretty Black. Rest in peace to Pretty Black before he died. Pretty Black was the first nigga to tell me that I look like DMX. You heard? He was like, yo, you look like DMX, B. You know that, right? I was like, word? It's like first time, because some people used to tell me, one time a nigga told me I look like Mace. You know what I'm saying? I was like, the fuck out of here. How I look like Mace? But when niggas told me I look like X, I ain't dispute that one, you heard? I was like, I probably do, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And he older than me, so I'll get away with that one. They'll say I look like him, you heard? And got my man Elevator, you heard? He got taken down that Brim indictment a couple of years ago, that Star Brim indictment, and I think, you heard? And this is before that. This is me and him up north. He gave me this picture up north. When Elevator I think one of the reasons why they call him elevator, because his ups is crazy. He be dunking on niggas and all that. He mad nice and ball. He another nigga that should have went to the NBA, you heard? He another nigga that could have been in the NBA, you heard? Elevator, you heard? You know what I'm saying? This nigga was crazy nasty in basketball, you heard? I think that's why they call him elevator, you know what I'm saying? And this nigga, me and nigga got mad tight. And when he was in Clinton with me, he wasn't blood. He wasn't blood. He wasn't blood when he was in Clinton with me. He wound up going to Comstock after that, or later on. Matter of fact, I think while I was there on the other side of the jail, I heard elevator turn blood. I think that's what happened. You heard? I think he turned blood in Clinton. I think because Pee Wee had got there and everything. I remember everything. You heard? I'm not sure. Maybe I'm right. So I remember Elevator wasn't blood when I was with him, no. I was in Clinton 18 months with Elevator. That was my man. You heard? That was my man. He was neutral. You heard? I was blood. Me and the homies was blood. You know what I'm saying? He turned blood. I seen the later years when Cardi B blew up and all that. I seen niggas was around Cardi B and all that when Cardi B was blowing up. So I was happy for my niggas, you heard? When I was seeing pictures of niggas around her and all that, I was like, oh, all right. Nigga, I was happy. I seen Pee Wee around her. I seen Elevator around her. I was like, oh, all right. Those are niggas I was up north with. Those are niggas that I was in the yards with. Those are niggas I was banging with, you heard? So I'm like, all right. Niggas is around Cardi B. They hoping they gonna be up, you know what I'm saying? Doing them, you heard? Holding her down, you heard? Doing they thing. Staying out that jail cell, you heard? But I heard that Elevator got taken down. And like I said, I don't know nothing about the case. I don't know if he told. I don't know if he kept it 100. You heard? You know what I'm saying? But I just know that I met Elevator back in 1998 Clinton. This picture, he gave me this picture in 1999. And he signed it. He said, to my nigga L, Ghost Town Finest. Everybody know what they call the Bronx. Ghost Town. What blood niggas call the Bronx? Ghost Town. To my nigga L, Ghost Town Finest. It's mad love, son. Always from Ghost Town. To the pain, Harlem. You heard? You know, to Harlem World. Forever to shine. You heard? Oh, so he this is when he turned. You heard? But he was on the other side of the jail. I think he sent me this picture. You heard? Oh, he gave me this when we was on the same company. It's your Harlem nigga, the Elevator. And his fellow Harlem 212 niggas. You heard? Your family, you heard? Yeah, bat type. And yeah, BA type. So, you know what I'm saying? Like I told you, niggas write fly, so sometimes you can't read what niggas is saying. But basically, he named everybody in the flick. He said, that's KB kneeling down, this the Elevator, this Tragic, and this is the homie Black Rebel. You heard? You see how black he is, called Black Rebel. And this is them in the Annex. Yeah, he was in the Annex. They sent him from the main to the Annex. You heard? I think he gave me this when he left. Because when niggas be leaving the main, going to the Annex, that should be like niggas going home, when niggas going to a new jail. So niggas be giving niggas that they fuck with their pictures, and you heard, if they don't got none and all that. So that's, Elevator set me out. You heard? That's my man Elevator, man. You heard? And the homies, you heard? All of them was blood. All of them was repping. Hard. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, this is a picture that I did in the other video, but I didn't give it to y'all all the way. I didn't even see Dasheen. That's Larry David's nephew in the middle. That's Larry David's nephew. I went to 145 with him. And that's Mo Blonde, Geo, I don't know fam name, and that's Ding Dong. Ding Dong from motherfucking Bronx River. That's my son. That's my man Rich nephew. You heard? That's my OG Rich. His uncle is my OG Rich. You know what I'm saying? And when I met him in jail, we was vibing and kicking it so much, he wound up telling me that Rich was his uncle. And I was like, oh shit, Rich is my OG. That's crazy. How Rich your uncle? And he like, yeah, B, Rich my uncle. So, and then when I came home and I got around Rich, like, yo, Ding Dong, your nephew? No, Ding Dong. He was telling me he Rich, your brother. And when I said, Ding Dong, your brother? And he's like, nah, that's my nephew, you heard? I was like, oh, all right. You know what I'm saying? I know you was family. He was saying you was family. I said, all right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Ding Dong. That was my nigga in Clinton too. Nigga Ding Dong, you heard official Bronx nigga from Bronx River that was holding it down his whole time up there. Banging, you heard? You know what I'm saying? Banging, you know what I'm saying? So, that's just a few. You know what I'm saying? I made it long enough. You heard? That's Comrades, B. That's just a few Comrades. I ain't even talk about did I talk about my homie Nice? Yeah, I talked about my homie Nice, but yeah, that's just Comrades, man. Comrades, B. Let's get it, nigga.